This is what the Denver Broncos aren't telling you about quarterback Bo Nix. Bo Nix just finished up his very first rookie minicamp in a Denver Broncos uniform, and Sean Payton came away very impressed with what he saw. Bringing in this article from ESPN's Jeff Legwold, Payton said in regards to Nix, it's almost like watching a good golfer. Sometimes when you watch his game over 2 years, there's a patience to how he plays. The ball comes out, and I don't want to use the term boring, that's not the right term, but pretty good decisions. With each play, the efficiency of how he's operating and all that, so oftentimes, your first exposure to huddle, snap count, verbiage, that can be challenging, but I thought he threw it well. A lot of times when a young quarterback is coming into the NFL, the very first time that they've taken snaps from under center, the very first time that they've called a play in the huddle, the very first time that they've even used so much as a pre-snap cadence is during rookie minicamp. Or I guess technically it's during the Senior Bowl. But in college, it's a very different pre-snap procedure at the line of scrimmage. A lot of times you see quarterbacks in college use the clap snap count as opposed to a verbal cadence at the line of scrimmage. There are some quarterbacks out there in college that use a verbal cadence, but it's not very common. Then, when it comes to actually getting the play call signaled to the team, there's no huddles really in college football very often. A lot of times the play is signaled in from the sideline with a bunch of different guys wearing a different color shirt. So sometimes the guy wearing the red shirt is going to be the one signaling in the play, sometimes the blue shirt, so on and so forth. And it's just hand signals and all that kind of mumbo jumbo. It's very, very different from the pre-snap procedure in the NFL. And that's why a lot of young quarterbacks struggle when they are coming into the league. I feel like Bo Nix is going to be ahead of the curve when it comes to that kind of stuff based on Sean Payton's comments here, and that's a very, very good sign for the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix being able to take over as the Week 1 starter. What Sean Payton's looking for in a quarterback at the end of the day is somebody who can operate on time, in rhythm, in structure in the play. There were a lot of times where Sean Payton would draw up a very well-schemed play last year, but Russell Wilson would leave all that meat on the bones because he either wouldn't be able to see the play develop over his offensive line. Payton likes to call a lot of plays over the intermediate to short middle of the field, which is where Russell Wilson just struggled. And also, sometimes Russell Wilson would bail from a clean pocket too early and spin into a sack when a wide open receiver would come streaking. I think about a play that could have won the Denver Broncos the game against the Houston Texans, where Jerry Jeudy was just streaking over the middle of the field, coming wide open for a touchdown. Russell Wilson didn't see him. He actually scrambled for a fairly decent gain, but that drive stalled out, and it didn't lead to points for the Broncos, or it led to 3 points for the Broncos, actually, and that still is why the Broncos lost that game against the Houston Texans. It was leaving meat on the bones. Bo Nix isn't going to do that. He's going to, if his first read is there, take it 100 times out of 100. Be it a 5-yard out route, a 5-yard hitch route, a 4-yard flat route, all those first reads that are there within the structure of the play, if Bo Nix sees it, he's going to take it. And that's akin to a quarterback who made a living for 20 plus years in the NFL doing just that. Tom Brady. I was listening to the Stinkin' Truth podcast the other day, hosted by Mark Schlereth and Mike Evans. Mark Schlereth talked to Byron Leftwich, who was the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when Tom Brady was their quarterback, and he asked Leftwich what separates Tom Brady and makes him truly one of the best quarterbacks in the game. And Leftwich's response was, if Tom Brady's first read in the progression is there, be it a 5-yard flat route or a 4-yard flat route, a 5-yard hitch route, 5-yard out route, whatever it is, he's going to take it 100 times out of 100. It's the old notion you can't go broke taking a profit. That's how Bo Nix is going to make his entire career in the NFL. And if he's able to do that, then Sean Payton may have very well found his franchise quarterback that he can work with for the next 15 plus years, just like he did with Drew Brees, who also was a guy who operated on time, in rhythm, in structure. When Sean Payton uses the term boring there, well, I guess he says he didn't want to technically use it, but he did use that term. That's actually a term of endearment. That's a term where Sean Payton is saying, Bo Nix was a guy who did everything I asked him to do. Russell Wilson did not do that in this Denver Broncos offense last year, and that was to the detriment of the team's success. This year, Sean Payton's got a guy who's just going to be that point guard, that distributor, the guy who's going to get the ball on time, out in rhythm, in structure, in the play, which is absolutely huge, and it's going to lead to drastic results of improvement for this Denver Broncos offense. All right, Broncos country, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I really appreciate it. You guys can also check out some of my other work on Broncos Syndicate, as well as the MHRT Network, our flagship podcast, the 5280 podcast, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. All right, guys, if you want to help me out in growing this channel, if you could just do me a big favor and leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Those are two free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members in Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.